Hi everyone, Robin Moser here, and I'm here today alone because Anna's out playing golf, and I do apologize for being a little late, but technology loves me. And today we are doing a show about humble pie, which is a cocktail, and I'll be honest, I tried it last night. It's a very interesting one. And we're going to do why you don't need to buy your dream home right now and how you can do it later. Because I think it's important to realize that you don't have to buy that big home really fast. And actually, believe it or not, we hear it from a lot of first-time home buyers where they're saying they want that big two-story front of garage, quartz countertops, but they can't qualify for it. So we're going to talk about all the tricks and tips that you need to get you into that dream home eventually, but maybe just not right now. So we are here, and we're going to start with the drink, the humble pie. And actually, I'm teaching you guys something a little bit different today. Sorry, I need ice for my humble pie. And we're going to talk actually about not just how to make a cocktail, but how to also garnish the glass in a way that makes it kind of cool. So I obviously was fighting with my technology. So we're going to start with taking the glass. And this was actually a trick that I learned from a bartender that I really, really like. And you know how they always have the really cool kind of side thing on the glass? So you take the glass with a little bit of cornstarch, and you actually use the cornstarch to put it on the glass. And that's how you're going to make that kind of cool garnish on the side so that it actually sticks really, really well. And that you can make your glasses look super neat. And then because this one has ginger in it, I'm using actually ginger to stick ginger to the side. And so that our glass looks very neat with ginger on the side and going along with the taste of the glass. So now you see the glass, it's got that ginger on the side. And then we're going to add our ice to it that we need for the cocktail later. And now this one is just a mixing one. So I have a mixing glass with ice in it. And we're going to start with our measuring. Hang on, because I forgot my shooter glass. Obviously, I'm having a rough day today. And we're going to start by making our cocktail here. So we're starting with apple brandy here, 1 ounce into our glass. And then we're doing scotch. So another 1 ounce into our glass. And I'll be honest, Clint tried this last night and he actually quite liked it. So, and then we're going to do a dash of what is called, it's allspice liqueur. So it actually wants 4 dashes. And if you have our cocktail journal, you'll see it. It has a dash of bitters and then half an ounce of ginger syrup. So last night I just actually took some sugar, water, and ginger and reduced it on the oven, or on the stove, sorry, until it was enough. And then it wants a little bit of pepper. And now we're going to take this drink and we are going to stir it. And I want you to stir it for like 30 to 45 seconds. So quite a while. Make sure it's nice and cold, nice and chilly, all that kind of stuff. Make it nice, mixed up. And then after you do all of that, you want to strain it into the garnished cocktail glass that you have right here. So we're going to strain it into the glass. And now you can double strain it if you don't want to have the bits of pepper in there, which is entirely up to you. And then we take our candied ginger, and that's our garnish to go across our cocktail, and that is our humble pie. And I will be honest with you, this is a sipper. It is very alcohol forward, but herby. It's actually kind of interesting how herby it is in regards to like when you taste it. It's super yummy, really great sipper. It would be a wonderful, because of the ginger and everything in it, a palate cleanser. I only know that because I had it last night. But it is a beautiful cocktail, actually. The more you drink it, kind of the more it opens up, which makes it even better. So 100%, I actually would say I would go to a restaurant and order this one more than once. So it is a beautiful cocktail. Highly recommend it. Very good. And then you can make it really cool with different garnishes and stuff like that to go along to impress people with the different cocktails. What's cool about this one too is if you are having a large party or a get together, the way that it's made, it would be a very easy drink to pre-make so that when your party goers come, you can just pour it out for them and not have to, take all your time doing that. And you can prep the glasses ahead of time too, so that they can have a really nice cocktail without you having to put in a ton of different effort. So we are now back to talking about buying your dream home at a later date. Now, a lot of times people want to start with the big house, and I get it. It's so nice to think that's, just buy the house I'm going to end up in and I don't have to move and all that kind of stuff. But the reality of it is one, you don't always have the down payment that you're looking for, and two, you might not qualify to buy that big, huge house. But you can come up with a plan and a strategy on how to do that, on how to get to that big, huge dream house at the end of your days. And it's not hard, and you can get there faster than you think with a really good plan. This is one thing that I'm a big fan of. I know for Clint and I, we actually paid off the first house that we bought together within 5 years, and it's because we use these strategies to do it. So that's where you can start building your equity, building your net worth. And to me, that's something that's really important, and it's important to start doing it the younger you are and not waiting till later in life. And a lot of people think that they don't have the opportunity later in life, but I assure you, you do. It just is a matter of taking the right steps. So doing this, you can start with simple things like accelerated biweekly payments on your mortgage. That can actually pay your mortgage off almost 5 to 10 years sooner just on accelerated biweekly payments, which you can start the moment that you get your mortgage. You can also make lump sum payments on your mortgage without penalty once per year, up to 15% of the value of your mortgage. Most mortgages come with this option. So what we used to do is we would save the money, put it aside into a TFSA or another investment, and we would accumulate the money, putting it there, and then lump sum the mortgage. That's another way. And you can also increase your payments so you make to your mortgage, and you'd be amazed how fast that actually reduces the length of time it takes to pay off your mortgage as well. So realistically, if you were even just to increase them by 10 to 15%, you would have a massive increase on equity paydown fast. And the reality of it is Calgary increases at 6% to 3% per year in the value of homes on average. So of course, staying in that home, that will build your equity as well, because you're going to pay to live somewhere anyhow, so you might as well pay it into your own pocket. But don't think that you have to wait to have that big house. Get your 5%, get into the market, start getting that forced savings account, because let's be honest, it's what it is. At least if you're paying into your own pocket, you're building your own equity, you're building your own savings account, and that's what matters, instead of paying rent and it being a 100% loss. So the next thing you can do is you can shorten your amortization period. So when getting your mortgage, you can ask the bank, instead of going 25 or 30 years, you can ask them to go 20 years or 15 years if you can handle that payment. If you can't, that's okay. Go the longer and then lump sum it. If you have an income like I do that's not consistent, I can't consistently guarantee how much money I'm going to make. I get sudden huge lump sum payments of money. So you can do that. If you get bonuses, use those bonuses and throw them down on your mortgage. Another thing that I like to do, and I've counseled a lot of people in this, is that if you're getting rid of a bad debt, let's say you end a car loan, you end a loan on a consolidation debt, if you pay off a credit card and you get rid of that credit card, take the payment that you were making every single month and start paying it into something like good debt, or increase your mortgage payment by that amount So you've already lived without that money anyhow for that period of time. Start putting it towards your mortgage. And this is where you get really into the good debt, bad debt thing. And we're all going to have debt for our entire lives. And I tell people this all the time. You're never, ever not going to have debt in your life. We all have to have debt, whether it's access to credit cards, whether it's mortgages, anything like that. But the difference is having good debt versus bad debt. And if you can change all your bad debt into good debt, that's where you start building net worth. That's where you start getting wealth. That's how you start growing instead of feeling like you're just playing catch up. So the other thing is you can do double up your payments. You can talk to the bank and double up your payments. You can round up your payments to the next $50 or $100. That's another way to do it. You can max out your prepayment privileges every single year. And you can cut expenses and redirect the money, which is, again, like I said, getting rid of those bad debts and putting it into a good debt. You can also, and this is my other favorite one, so I have a 20-year-old son, autistic. I know I've talked about him before, but I've taught him how to save money for his down payment. And he's done really well. He's got like $65,000 saved, and he's going to be buying his first house here right away at 20 years old. And he's going to buy a house with a suite in the basement, and that suite income is going to be able to go towards his qualifying amount, so the income that he'll earn from that property. And he's going to live in the basement, and he's going to rent out upstairs. And that is going to be his first house, and he's going to live in there. And we've already calculated it out. His total payments are going to be $1,000 to $1,300 a month, and he's fine with that. And then we talked about, as his life grows, and if he gets a partner or anything like that, then he can move upstairs and rent out the basement. So if you're someone and you want to learn how to afford a house, maybe buying your first property with a suite is a way to start affording the first house. And that's just your first house, and it's okay to buy a house for just now. And you could even look at maybe saving it, and it's going to be your rental property in the future. So you're just living in your rental property until you can afford to buy the house that you want to live in. And those are ways to do it as well. The way Clint and I paid off our house in the first 5 years is we had this house, and we took the equity out of this house as a down payment, and we bought a rental property. We held on to the rental property until there was enough equity in the rental property to pay off the current house we were living in. And it only took 5 years. Again, you'd be amazed how fast it goes. And as soon as the rental property had enough equity to pay off the current house we were in, we sold the rental property and paid off our house. And then that's how we started growing our real estate portfolio. So those are great ways to save money, to pay off your house, to move up to your dream house. But don't think you have to start there. The best thing you can do is get into the market. Get something. Something is better than nothing. And even if you look at that something and you think, this isn't something I want to live in, it doesn't have to be forever. Sometimes it can just be for now, because it's about moving you up. And I'll be honest, my favorite story I've ever heard is about what it takes to climb Mount Everest. I've never been there, but this is a story from one of the people who did. And when you climb Mount Everest, you have to climb up to base camp. Then you go base camp to camp 1, and then back to base camp. And then you go camp 2 and back to base camp, and camp 3 and back to base camp. And you do that 7, 8 times till you actually summit at the top of the mountain. And the reason you do that is because if you actually climb from base camp to the summit, your brain would explode because your body has to climatize. So what it teaches you is that sometimes, because you have to go up and then back down and up and back down, that sometimes going backwards is going forwards. And sometimes climatizing in that first property is the right way to go, because that first property is what's going to get you further up the mountain. It's what's going to get you to that summit that you're trying to achieve to go. So that is our show today. Thank you so much. Please like and share our show on all the social medias. We are giving away the Stormtrooper decanter with glasses and the trilogy of our show books, and that is going to be given away on our next show on the Tipsy Realtors. So please make sure to like and share our show, comment, tag your friends. Every single time you comment, tag, and like our show, your name will go in and be entered to win whatever the prize is this month. So thank you so much. If you know of anyone buying or selling real estate, please have them give us a call. We'd love to help them out. Just give them the right advice. And even too is if you know a young person, and we do this a lot for people that wants to get started on how to buy a house. This is actually a huge passion of mine because I don't believe that real estate is unaffordable. I think that we have unrealistic expectations, and how to afford real estate now is different. So have that young person give me a call, and I will sit down for free and teach them how to start saving that down payment and how to afford that first house. So thanks so much. Have a great day, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week and enjoy the weather.